What did you go to prison for?
Conspiracy to mortgage fraud.
Oh, you was doing real estate. You did some fraud.
I ain't do no fraud. It was a very popular real estate investor out here. He had billboards all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
2 brothers. Here I am. I'm in my 20s, just starting, thinking, looking at him as a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Come to find out, he was already being federally investigated. Mm-hmm. And I didn't know. This was our first deal together. And the market had crashed. And, people were looking for creative ways to sell houses. And the way that they were selling houses was utilizing a reverse mortgage, where basically, if you're a senior citizen, you don't have to qualify for a loan based off your credit. It's based off your age.
Mm-hmm.
But the catch was they had to bring 40% to the closing table, 40% of the purchase price. Most senior citizens don't have that much money,
mm-hmm.
but they can get the money from a gift letter, from a family member that says, okay, you're my family, I'll give you the 40%, and they'll take a gift letter, right? It's called gift funds. So what made it illegal was he was doing a whole lot of these deals and whatever else, then it was a whole lot of fraud. People were straw buying, all type of shit. I don't know what else he was doing. This was our first deal ever. And he was like, yeah, I'm closing these houses using reverse mortgages. And I'm like, okay, well, who you putting on a gift letter? And he's like, whoever. I'll just bring the money to the table and I'll put cousin. He's putting up the money for the senior citizen. But what made it illegal was it's supposed to come from an actual family member. But it was coming from him. And he would put on a letter that he was a cousin.
Mm-hmm.
So on my deal, and it wasn't even my deal, I had a client in New York that was like, yo, help me sell this house. And coincidentally, I was already doing business with this guy, learning about this reverse mortgage thing, and then he ended up disappearing. I speak to my client in New York, and he's like, yo, I got a guy that's actually closing these houses with reverse mortgages. I want to hook you up with him. He sends me the number. It happens to be the same guy. And I'm like, yo, I'm already speaking to this nigga. What the fuck?
But he disappeared.
He disappeared. He stopped picking up my calls.
But this new guy gave the number and he picked up, or he...
Yeah, after a few days, he picked up. He called me back. So I was like, yeah, coincidentally, whatever, whoever hooked us up, right? So he was like, yeah, I'm going to put you on. I'm going to show you how to do everything. I'm going to let you talk to my broker. We're going to just handle the whole deal for you. So I remember I'm running in Lowe's. He got all my property information, which is really my friend's property information. And he calls me, and I knew my gut was yo, why is he asking me the same question? But I'm multitasking, running in Lowe's. At this time, I was renovating a lot of houses. I'm running in Lowe's, and he's like, Gia, what's the property address? And who goes on the gift letter again? And I was like, I don't know. I thought you said cousin. Boom, that one question. Conspiracy to mortgage fraud.
He was trying to set you up.
He set me up on a wiretap. You know how the feds be. They be like, you want to reduce your time? We need other people. And conspiracy, I don't know if you was familiar with it, but that was a thing. What year did you go in?
2017.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you missed that way. But...
Well, I know about it. I got a conspiracy charge.
Okay, well, that was a thing. They didn't have to really catch you in the act. Mm-hmm. They didn't have to catch you doing nothing, which my name wasn't on no paperwork. It was just him, that one conversation.
How many people he snitched on?
It was quite a few. It was definitely quite a few people because I had code E's. I didn't even fucking know.
How much time did you get?
I ended up doing I want to say close to 3 years.
How much time he get?
14. And
damn.
He said his brother said he was facing life.
Life?
He was I ended up seeing him. I ended up seeing his brother. I was pissed about a real estate transaction. I go in the office because they had flagged me for my background. This is 10 years later, right? And I was closing the deal and they had deaded the deal because they pulled up my case from, I guess they Googled me or whatever. So.
Wait, what year you went to jail?
2009. Yeah.
Mm.
So 10 years later, I go into a closing attorney's office and I see the guy's brother. And I'm like, oh, you the brother, that bitch ass nigga that set me up.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, Gia, could I talk to you for a minute? And I'm like, what? He's like, in the feds, they go by a point system. I'm like, yeah. He was like, 46 is life. My brother had a 47. So he had to do what he had to do. was like, oh, fuck that. That's some bullshit. I can understand we was making money together.
Mm-hmm.
If like we was rocking, like this was literally our first deal. We ain't make no money together, nothing.
If there wasn't no deal closed, how could they charge you if nothing happened?
Conspiracy.
Conspiracy, I mean, I get it. I mean, it's over, but damn, like, that don't even make sense.
Conspiracy.
It's conspiracy, but we never done nothing. We was about to.
That's why. You don't have to do nothing with conspiracy.
I don't do that shit to try.
Yeah,
I wonder why we had 47. He must have had like a criminal background.
He always doing mad shit. Like, that was the era, like, niggas was doing mad mortgage fraud.
I was locked up with a couple niggas that did mortgage fraud. And they was giving out time for that. Don't get me wrong. Like 14, 15, 10.
Yeah, like.
Depending on how much money you took. But damn, a whole life sentence on mortgage fraud. So how did they grab you? Sent you a letter?
Sheesh. That's a whole nother thing. I just had a baby. And you know how you got pre-trial probation.
Yeah.
And I was at one house. And then the heat went out at that house. So I ended up going to another house.
Mm-hmm.
And they was like, yo, come in the office without your baby. You move houses and you didn't tell us and all this bullshit. And I was like, come to the office without my baby. Oh, I'm out.
Fucking right.
I'm like, yo, I'm out. I went to New York.
Mm-hmm.
Like, fuck that.
Where you was at?
At my homegirl house. I was bouncing around.
No, New York. Where you was coming from? What you mean with New York?
I was in Atlanta.
Okay.
And then I dipped.
For how long?
And I went on a run with my baby.
How long that last?
I don't know, probably like 30 days. Them niggas tapped my phone.
Damn right. Something sweet.
Yo, you would have thought I killed somebody. They had me up like a wanted poster in the neighborhood all over. Like, the shit was crazy. I'm like, what the fuck? It was crazy.
So, how much did they send you? How much time did they send you to?
I don't even remember because I was fighting my case so long that I was just sitting in county and just being transported. You took Conair?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't even know. By the time I was finally fuck it, I'll plea out. Because the whole time I was like, this is bullshit. Like, where's the crime? Who's the injured party? Like, who the fuck did I scam? Like, I was really trying to fight my case. And by the time, they were just holding me. My attorney was like, yo, Gia, like, you might as well just plea out. You only got 6 months. You could probably do it at home.
Mm-hmm.
So I ended up just pleading out. And
so you did a bunch of time in county and you went to prison though?
Yeah, I went to prison for 6 months, Tallahassee.
You was in county for 2 years?
Damn near, yeah.
God damn. Oof. That's like the worst time.
Yeah, but are you still on probation?
I just got off 2 months ago.
Oh, congrats. I know that feel good.
Feel amazing.
Amazing.
I need my passport. Yeah.
Yes, you get to start your life all over again.
So in these 6 months while you were doing time, this is when you met the lady, the two ladies, or you?
Yeah, I met her in the beginning of my time. And I got caught in New York.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was in New York. Then when I got to prison, I met the other lady.
Where you went to prison at?
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. Where Tallahassee? Alabama?
Florida.
Florida? What am I? So, well, damn.
Yeah, it's been a journey. It's been a hell of a journey.
So when you got out of jail, when you got out of prison, your goal was to start fucking with gold, diamonds, and
Nah. I got out and I really mastered real estate.
Oh, you just went right back into it.
Not right back, but I really started studying. And when I came home, I studied for they told me I couldn't touch real estate while I was doing probation.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 31 months. So I was just studying this whole wholesaling concept. And mind you, I think I entered the market again in 2014 when I started dealing with real estate. So as soon as I got out, wholesaling wasn't saturated. Nobody was really wholesaling. Nobody was really doing the strategies that I was doing. I was doing a lot of tax liens, tax deeds. So I was getting houses for hella cheap, flipping them. So my first year out, I made 7 figures. I started with absolutely nothing, literally $60 to my name, and made 7 figures in real estate. And I just mastered real estate on every level.
On every level. You still do real estate now?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Which real estate? Which kind of real estate?
So a lot of non-traditional real estate. I'm more so fixing and flipping, buying and holding. Like I said, tax liens, tax deeds, pre-foreclosures, stuff like that. But mainly right now, I'm really focused on Africa. I haven't taken on any new projects. I'm really heavily focused on this new project in Africa.
What's the goal?
The goal is to be the first large-scale Black-owned, Zambian-owned mining company, copper and gold mining company. Because where we're located right now, I was given 200,000 acres of land in one of the richest geographic regions in the world. All of our neighbors are billion-dollar copper and gold mines. Billion. And they're all European owned.
You said given? That's why I gave you?
So it's chiefdom land. I mean, I paid a lot of money for the license and all the different paperwork and all of that. But essentially, yeah, me and the chief went into a partnership. And my goal is to basically mine the minerals, but really bring impact to the community. Mm-hmm. So, from housing to schooling to adding value to the minerals, to jobs, to everything, economic development.
Why don't you just live out there?
I will be moving there.
Oh.
Yeah.
But what's stopping you?
I have a daughter here, so I'm just tying up my loose ends. And I say probably in the next 7 months, I'll be living out there. I have to.
That's what it seemed like.
I got a lot of equipment that's on the way, so I'm gonna have to be there for sure.
How much is the flight?
Like $1,400 round trip.
That ain't bad.
Mm-mm.
Okay, can you explain the difference between, not even explain the difference, like copper? I didn't think copper was something that people just, I know it's needed, but for people to have to go and copper, why copper?
Good question. Yeah, so a lot of people don't really understand that right now we're in the fourth industrial revolution. And what that means is everything is geared towards technology and electrification. So economies around the world are looking to switch to electric. We got a lot of electric car mandates coming out. They want to get away from fossil fuels like gas. They want to create wind turbines, solar energy, more solar panels. Like the world is moving to electrify because they done basically fucked up with all these greenhouse gases, climate control, So their philosophy is we have to decarbonize and move away from polluting the air. And the best way to do that is through electrifying. And when it comes to electrification, like electric cars, you need copper. For electric vehicle, you need 4 times the amount of copper. For anything electric, wind turbines, solar panels, copper is the main component used in electrification. So your walls, that's why crackheads used to run into houses and steal the wires because of the copper. Mm-hmm. Like anything electric, you need copper. So copper is a huge, there's a huge market. There's a huge demand right now. And it's going to only boom over the next, it's expected to triple and quadruple in price over the next 10 years. So, yeah.
What about the supply of copper? Could you find it way more easier and way more abundant than gold?
It depends where you're at geographically. Our lands, there's certain areas copper is more dominant, and there's some areas where gold is more dominant. And then when you find copper, sometimes you find copper and gold together. Sometimes you may find copper together with cobalt, with nickel, like silver. So you'll find all of these minerals together. They're like byproducts of one another. So it's literally a $1 billion industry, but we ain't in it. We don't know shit about it. You know what I'm saying? So my goal is really to educate us because there's huge opportunities in Africa for us. And I'm not saying like completely leave where we're at. Like you can have 1 foot in America and 1 foot in Africa, but I feel like we need to really start opening our mind to these opportunities because Africa is the fastest growing economy. It's been named the most profitable region in the world. And when I go there, the people that I see winning is Europeans, Chinese, Indians, and they are dominating these industries. And it's Africans, Black people that look like us doing the work.
Doing all the work.
And the thing is, like, we have access to capital here. What they do in Africa is their interest rates is 30%. So they can't even go to the bank and go get a loan. And although they walking on top of gold, they can't even mine their own resources because the fucking interest rates is 30%. But the Europeans, the Chinese, they in they countries, they get 1-2% interest rates and they building billion-dollar operations. These mines last for 50 years, 100 years, and they're making a few $1 billion per year.